And press record. Welcome to the call. If you were on the team call yesterday, you will notice that I still have the same braid in my hair. And I just put a hat on. And I am a dirtball. Now you know who I really am. You probably already knew that before. But anyways, today I am excited because we're going to talk about getting new coaches started right. And it's a call that I haven't really done in a long time. And I felt that it was needed because there are coaches who are new and upcoming leaders, hence all of y'all. And we need to make sure that we are getting our coaches started right, because if we don't, it's going to be hard to get them from step one to step two. And really, we want them to see the success. We want them to see the success that we are seeing, which is, you're here in this leadership group because I see potential in you to be a leader. So we need to make sure that we're giving our new coaches everything right off the bat, so they can continue growing from there and just build that momentum really early in their business. Okay, so first things first, whenever we have a new coach, different teams do different things. Different coaches do different things. This is going to depend on what works for you. I'm going to tell you what I do because it has worked for me really well. When you have a coach sign up, you're either going to have a discount coach or a working coach. No matter what, a coach is a coach, but it depends on what they're actually going to be doing with the business. When we have discount coaches sign up, some coaches do not put them in their team page, and some coaches do put them in a team page. I will tell you, I do put mine in at least my own team page in Forever Fit because I want them to see what we do. I do usually, for the most part, I think I ask everyone now. Before I didn't always ask everyone. I would just say, hey, I'm adding you in here. But now when I have a gut feeling that they have potential to do something with this business, I will ask them and say, hey, do you want me to add you into the team page? You don't have to do anything in it, but it allows you to see what we do with our team and how we coach. And majority of people will say yes. A lot of people don't actually do anything in the coach page, but they just look at it and they just see what we do. So many of my discount coaches became working coaches because of that. Even recently, I will say the most recent discount or working coach I got was a discount coach of mine that was in my team page, and we were at Summit, and we were posting pictures in the team page, and she was like, I can't stop looking at your team page and everyone at Summit. So I want to learn about working the business. And she hit Success Club this past month. So, it's really showing them the opportunity, and that can make a huge difference of them being a discount coach working versus a working coach. Now, of course, if they are a working coach, the first thing that you want to do is add them to your team pages and recognize them and introduce them into your team page. Sometimes I like to give a little background story if I know a lot about them. If not, sometimes I just do hey, welcome to the team. This is so-and-so, and she's doing this with their journey, or he's doing this with their journey. So make sure that whenever you're adding them, that you do a little intro, make them feel welcome, and, get them started that way. Okay, next, there are a lot of coaches who are just starting off as a coach, never using the products before. Make sure that you are getting your coaches in a challenge group. One of the 4 vital behaviors is being a product of the product, using Shakeology, using, Performance Line or the Beachbody programs, whatever it is. We need to make sure that we are treating our coaches like a challenger, and we are adding them into challenge groups, because if they don't know what a challenge group is, they're not going to run very good challenge groups. And I always say, get into this challenge group and we're going to team up and do it together. You can add value and add posts as you want to, as you're comfortable. And I have my new coaches run the first few groups with me, even if they just have one person or if they have 5 people, however many. That way their challengers can see what they're doing as a coach, and that coach is learning what a challenge group is as well. So they're not feeling overwhelmed, because a lot of coaches will come into this and they go and do their own thing and they're overwhelmed because they're doing all the posts on their own, and then they want to drop off the face of the earth. So team page and challenge group, huge. Make sure you get them in a challenge group. Okay. And then I have gone back and forth with 2. So I have a new coach welcome email that I have sent in the past. It's either a coach welcome email that I send or the new coach checklist that is in a Google form that they fill out. And it's also a way for them to start learning about the back office and what we do as coaches. So if you guys are not familiar with that new coach checklist, I will actually post it in the group. If you guys want to end up creating your own new coach checklist, you can look at what I have and literally make your own and just copy it as you're going through your own, as you're creating it on Google. But it's a Google form. It's easy to do. It is a little time consuming to get it all ready, depending on how in depth you want to go. But when that new coach is starting, you can give them the link. I usually have mine. If I don't give it to them before, I will also have it in my preseason in my Coach Basics group. Excuse me. Okay. And then next, I always want to set up a one-on-one call with people. And I know the newer coaches who are just starting out and they have a working coach, or any coach who has like their first couple new coaches, it's scary because it's like, oh, what do I do? I'm still learning at the same time. But honestly, that one-on-one call should be like 15 minutes, tops 30. I don't like to spend any more than 30 minutes with each person on a call, because you have a lot of other people that you're talking to, and your time is valuable, their time is valuable as well. So on that call, it's going to be really important to talk about their why they're starting, why is this important to them, what it means for them to be successful in this business, what they want to do, whether it's a hobby coach versus a discount coach versus a working coach, and their goals is huge. So when you're talking goals, you want to talk short-term goals and long-term goals. If you don't know their goals, it's going to be really hard for you to help them and give them a direction on what to take. If someone's going to come to me and they don't tell me their goals, and I'm telling them you should hit Success Club 10 and go all in, but they only want to pay for their Shakeology, it's going to be overwhelming and they're not going to do anything at all. If they want to be a full-time Beachbody coach and quit their full-time job, and you're like, go for Success Club 5 and help 3 people, that's not really helping them to the max. Because if they want to build quickly and they want to do some huge things in this business, you should be hitting Success Club 10 right away, every month. So it depends on if they're going to be a jogger versus a runner, and there are different activities for them to do. It's not really different activities. It's using that business activity tracker, and whether you want to have them do the lower number versus the higher number of each activity, whether it's invites, follow-ups, you know what I mean? So make sure that you're going over goals, short-term and long-term with them, and, just get to know them. This is an opportunity for them to share a little bit about themselves. Let them do a lot of the talking, so you can get to know them and how much time they have to invest in their business, a little bit of a background, what they do for a living, like forming them if you haven't done that already. One thing I also like to do, which we had a call on yesterday, is get to know their personality type, because that's going to affect how you communicate with them. So whether you do like the color code personality test, which I have in Coach Basics, or if you just want to send it to them, you can do it that way as well. But you do want to get to know them, so you know like how to push them, how not to push them, how to talk to them. Because there are some people who will get offended by the way I say certain things. And there are people who think I'm a total D-bag by the way I say certain things. So it's important to know like what your limits are with people. This is just for instance, Jackie's coach, Erica. So she is a different type of personality than me. She's very independent. She likes to do things on her own, and she doesn't like to be bothered by a lot. And I was like, hey, let's do this. Let's get on a call. Let's talk about goals. And she was like, I don't need to get on a call and just talk about my goals. That's a waste of my time. And I was like really offended by it. But when we learned more about our personality types, it's like, well, it's not that she hates me like I thought she did. It's that that's just how she is. And I shouldn't take offense to it. So there's that. Like, you've got to get to know each other. That was a little late in our businesses that I found that out. But it's good to know, right? Better late than never. Jackie, I was just looking at you and I'm like, it's true. Like, you want to learn because you don't want anyone to feel offended by anything that each other says. So once you get on this, you should be getting on a call with them fairly quickly. Again, taking that 15 to 30 minutes and then making sure that they are doing the first 30. I probably should have said that before the checklist, and the new coach welcome email, but it kind of goes together. I actually do it at the same time. So the first 30 is in the back office. I have all the first 30 stuff put in a document with my preseason stuff for Coach Basics. So make sure that they go through all of the first 30 stuff. It's quickly in the back office. There's a video from Beachbody from corporate that they give you. There's the business action. There's the action plan. What else is there? There's the action plan. What's the other thing? The contact list, the memory jogger, like all of that stuff is in the first 30. I always tell my coaches, make sure that you print out the PDFs and just keep it in a folder. I think one of the best things that we can do for our coaches is tell them to get a folder or a notebook like Lauren has right now. Is that for Beachbody? So you can organize your stuff, because these new coaches are going to get overwhelmed quickly if they don't organize what they have. So doing a binder, having a folder. Lauren, you didn't have to stop doing what you were doing. I just saw that you had a folder. And I'm like, yes, like you need to have that. So I always say print out all of the PDFs that they have available so you can keep it, use it as resources to look back at, especially having like the action plan. Their goals are on there. And having the business activity tracker is going to be really important too. That's another thing that I give them along with the first 30 information. So I have them go through that. And then there's a couple more in the training tab in the back office. There's the getting started at the emerald, and it goes up the ranks of what you should be doing and watching. So I have them do that as they go through. And the Coach Basics for us, we have, I guess everyone has theirs a little bit different. Kaylee's not on tonight, but I don't know when she has her Coach Basics groups. I have mine the first Monday of every month. That never changes. Now, if someone signs up in the middle of the month, I simply have them go through everything that I just talked about, and I work with them one-on-one until that Coach Basics starts. So hopefully if they sign up after the halfway through the month, because I don't want to catch someone up that far in advance. If it's a week after, I'll usually throw them in the Coach Basics group and catch them up. But if it's after that, I like to have them wait until the Coach Basics actually starts. So I will work with them, and I will work with them through getting their new coach announcement going through all the back office stuff, doing the one-on-one call and everything. By the time we're done with that, they're ready to get started in the Coach Basics. And then in the Coach Basics, our first day is the new coach announcement. So that's really important for every new coach to do. It is so important, because if they are not announcing that they're a coach, nobody knows what they're doing. And a lot of new coaches fear they fear doing that announcement. It's scary for them. It's stepping out of their comfort zone. So along the way, us as their mentor, it's going to be important for us to like give them that belief and kind of be their cheerleaders, letting them know that they're totally capable of doing it. We need to be the ones to help build their confidence level as much as we can. Although they should have some on their own, but we have to encourage them and make sure that they are doing that new coach announcement. It is so important. And then helping them learn the importance of posting, 1 to 2 to 3 times a day. It's changing a little bit. 1 to 2 days, or 1 to 2 times a day is really, really good. The quality posts are important. So, and then last but not least, what do we do with our first month of coaches? We teach them how to hit Success Club and how to go Emerald. So I try not to put too much thought into it. Try to not complicate it. Helping 3 people sign up with a challenge pack, and 2 of those people sign up as a discount coach, whether it's discount or working, but usually first starting out is a lot of discount coaches. I mean, most people build their diamond on discount coaches. I know there are a lot of people that are like, well, I don't want to sign all these discount coaches. I'm just going to sign who wants to work the business. The majority of people who are successful in this business have built their business starting with discount coaches. You're going to go through seasons in your business where you sign up discount. Everyone is a discount coach, and there are going to be seasons where you have a lot of coaches and you're only signing up your working coaches. But I will tell you, like 3% of your coaches will actually work the business. And that's a pretty low percentage. That's not abnormal. So, excuse me. So make sure that you are okay and willing to sign up discount coaches yourself. And that is what we teach our coaches. At the beginning, we are signing up discount coaches, and we treat them like working coaches because we have them in a challenge group and we're helping them get results, and they're going to love what they do. They're going to see your team page, and that's going to make those discount coaches turn into working coaches, just like I talked about at the beginning. All right, so who has questions? That was what I wanted to give my spiel on getting new coaches started right. So I'm going to open it up and you guys can ask questions or give any feedback or input. Not everybody wants.
You said you were going to share the checklist that you have, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I actually, so one of my Star Diamond coaches who canceled her account, she actually made it, from what I know. But I think she got it from someone else. But she made it, gave it to us. We recreated it. So, and that's another thing. We don't have to recreate the wheel. Like, we don't have to constantly create a new coach training or anything like that. This is, a lot of it's given to us, and we can just make it ours. So yes, I will share the new coach checklist.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Anyone else? And I will say, I did get away from the coach welcome email just because it has, the coach checklist has everything from the welcome email in it, but a lot more. And I think it has been a lot more helpful for our new coaches because it talks about Shakeology, it talks about challenge packs, Emerald, Success Club, like all of the good stuff that is already in Coach Basics. So when it comes to the Coach Basics, hopefully like it's just a refresher for them.
I was using the welcome email for a while, but I like the idea of, it's on my to-do list for Saturday actually to make a checklist. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm excited for this.
Oh, perfect.
But I read checklists so much better than I read like this daunting 3-page long email.
Yep, absolutely. And the checklist, like, it is pretty long. It would take someone about 3 hours to go through. But here's my thing. When someone wants to work the business, they're going to invest the time. If they are not going to invest the time, then they're not your runner and you don't need to invest time in them, you know? So that's how I see it. That may sound mean of me, but like, we're here to build a business and we have to have people meet us halfway. Yeah, the checklist it's awesome. It has been a great help. So what happens whenever you create it on Google, once it's done, you'll get an email saying that they completed it. And then you can go through and look at all of their responses. So yeah, I can definitely add that. I can't minimize this while I'm recording. Okay, I guess I'll do it after. I was gonna try and do it right now. All right, anyone else have questions? It doesn't seem bad, does it? Like, it's pretty doable. Think about when you first started as a coach. What helped you as a coach? You know, maybe something was missed and you're like, oh, I wish I would have known that. That's something that you want to make sure that you write down. So I always have a piece of paper with like the things that I can do with my coaches when we first start, just so I don't miss anything. And so, you know, you're giving them everything that they need to be successful and build that solid foundation for themselves.
Actually wrote that. You just reminded me. I wrote that down at Summit that I wanted to do that, was make my own checklist. Like, I have somebody sign up as a discount coach or a working coach. These are the 10, 15 things that I need to do on my end, mm-hmm. or things that I need to get from them. And I forgot to do that.
Yeah. So now you remember. So I use Google Streak to keep track of my challengers and my coaches. And with my coaches, now I need to update it because this is all just a new idea. Like, when I have my coaches, I already have the sections where it's kind of like a checklist. So I have, are they in Coach Basics or did they do it? Did they get the coach welcome email? Are they in the team page? So like, that's a really good idea to know where each coach is with what you've done with them. So like, I'm going to add one-on-one call, you know, the new coach checklist. I don't think I have new coach checklist on there. New coach checklist, one-on-one call. Like, I want to add those because it'll just, you know, it's easier to keep track of everyone because we should be inviting and adding a lot of people to our team, and we need to keep track of where they are. So yeah, I like that idea for myself that I just did. So if anyone else is using Google Streak, feel free to make your checklist. You can make it into a checklist. So you're going off and checking everything that you've done with that person. Anybody else? Randy, since you have your first really new working coach that's actually working the business, I mean, not your first, maybe like your third, but you're actually like, this is a newer, actually working the business. How's that going?
She's doing good. She just got done with the first 30.
Good.
Yeah. So she really liked that. And then she's been watching a lot of the videos and stuff in the team page and just getting now. I told her we actually had our first one-on-one call, mm-hmm. and that went good. It was about 20 minutes.
Good. I knew that you were going to be doing it, so I don't think I've asked you how it went yet.
Yeah, it went good. I asked her about her goals, short and long term. So I asked her about her personal short and long and her business short and long term goals.
Awesome.
How many hours and days she's willing to put in. And then I also talked to her about the National Wake Up Call every Mondays.
Perfect. Good deal. And now she's in the coach training.
Yep.
So she's right on track.
She is.
Good job. Awesome. And Kate, Google Streak is, so I like to use mine on my computer because I hate using my phone. Like, I don't like to use my phone for anything. other than copying and pasting my hashtags on Instagram. But there is an app for Google Streak. I'm not good at using it because I like to, so there's something on Google Streak called snippets. And you can have parts of a conversation where you can pretty much it's like a copy and paste kind of thing. There's scripts that you can do. So whenever you're going to email someone you use it to email someone, you can just pull up all of those scripts and pick what script you want to use and send it. So it's like taking a lot of the guesswork out of it. But I can't find out how to do my snippets on my phone on the app. So I do need to figure that out. But yes, they do have an app for it. I've used it maybe 3 times. I have my computer everywhere I go. So you go through the website and it adds to your email page if you select it. There are tons of trainings on YouTube. Yep. There are a lot of trainings on it. Yes. So if you guys aren't using a tracking system, PS, make sure you do, because it is really hard to find people when you don't track. I've been using Google Streak now for a while very consistently, but before I tried Google Streak and then I left it because I'm like, ooh, Teamsy, let's go to Teamsy. So I tried Teamsy and then I'm like, I'm not so sure about this. And then I went back to Google Streak. I've been there ever since. But it is so easy to not be consistent and to lose people. And then when you find those people, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that person and there was somebody else. Or they don't respond to you. I've had that happen where they just don't respond to me anymore and they were sounded very interested and excited. I've had people leave and go to somebody else. So just make sure that you are using something. And I've done paper and pen for a long time. Again, it's hard to flip through pages to see, oh, what was that date I talked to that person, or who was that person I talked to? And you just see a bunch of names and dates everywhere. I do like to use the Go for No sheets because I can see all of my names in one big piece of paper. And even that sometimes gets a little hard. So that's why I love Streak, because you can literally start typing in the name and then it comes up. And it's free for a while. So I just wanted to add that in there to make sure you're tracking your people. And because it's nice to track your team as well as you're doing it. When you have calls with your team, with your coaches, I take notes on every call that I have and I update it in my Streak so I know what I talked about on that last call. So it's very helpful that way too. Just like you're talking to a customer, you put the notes in there of what your last conversation was. I do that with my team as well. All right, so we have 8 minutes left. If you guys don't have any other questions, I'm gonna let you all go and call it a night. You guys good? Any more questions? Perfect. All right, hey, picture real quick. Because our stories are important. And I haven't done hardly any today. I haven't done a lot today. Today was my day off. All right, ready? There we go. Good deal, guys. Thanks for jumping on, and we will talk soon. See ya.